Hi friends, Krista here. Thanks for stopping by Books and Jams. Today, I'm going to tell you how I'm doing on my goals so far this year. We have gone through 4 months, so I think this year, instead of waiting till a mid-month check-in, mid-year check-in, I will still do some sort of a mid-year check-in, but as far as my specific goals, I think I want to do it semesters, so every 4 months. So I will do one now for January, February, March, and April. May, June, July, August. I'll do one at the beginning of September, and then at the beginning of January, we'll wrap up how I did with everything through the end of the year. I gotta tell you, I'm pretty proud of myself for how much I've accomplished already this year with my goals. So I made this little page in my book journal, which I don't really keep a book journal, but I like to keep track of these types of things, like big goals. I don't keep track of everything I read. There's a lot of like messy pages in here that don't really mean anything. I did try back in the day. I should show you. I did try doing the whole bullet journal thing. There's a couple weeks I put some quotes and tried a couple different layouts, but I never really got into it. I didn't have nice pens and I'm not artistic in the least. So it didn't ever work for me. But what is working for me is keeping track of goals in here and lists of things. So here's my 2021 reading goals. The first one we'll talk about is Book of the Month. My goal was to read 10 of my Book of the Month books. You can see, if I just raise that up, right above me here are all of my Book of the Month books, and I have quite a bit. 10 I felt was a very reasonable amount to try to read within a year. I'm gonna crush it because I've already read 6, you guys. Already 6. So I made this little flower. It has 10 spots, 9 petals, and then a center. And so I've already been able to color in 6 of them. So the 6 books that I've read already are The Star-Crossed Sisters of Tuscany, This Tender Land, This Time Next Year, Miracle Creek, The Four Winds, and The Lost Apothecary. So that's awesome. Most of them are ones that I've received pretty recently. And honestly, The Lost Apothecary I read before I had the Book of the Month book, so I technically probably shouldn't count that one, but I'm counting it because it's a Book of the Month and it's completed. So that's 6. 4 more, and I've officially completed that goal, which is awesome. My next goal on my list here is Netgalley. My goal with Netgalley wasn't to read a specific number of books, but to really increase my percentage of how much I've read and reviewed as compared to how many I have. And I have to tell you, at the beginning of the year, my percentage was maybe 18 or 17%. I'd have to go back and look at that video, but it is in the 30% something, like 32% or something now, because I've read 7 of my Netgalley books so far. 2, 4, 6, 7. So the books that I've read for Netgalley, I do have a page in here to keep track. I have read The Lost Apothecary was a Netgalley, The Brave, which was our middle grade March pick, another middle grade called Quintessence, Dear Emmy Blue, which I think I read in April and forgot to talk about in my wrap-up. Whoops. Smale Home, which was a DNF. Oh yeah, Himself was also a DNF in April that I didn't talk about. And then The 100 Lies of Lizzie Lovett, which I read this month already. Didn't love it. I didn't love Lizzie Lovett, but I read it. So I've done 7, which got my percentage up to 30-something%, which is fantastic. So I'm definitely moving in the right direction. It would be awesome. Like, secret goal is to get it above 50 before the end of the year. If I keep up with this pace, I could totally do that. My next goal on here is my Christmas book exchange books. I have 12 spots on here. I kind of just wanted to make that I kind of just wanted to keep that in the forefront of my mind and in my goal list so that I'm making progress on that Christmas list. So here are all the books from 2019 and then 2020 that I received from Sarah and Lindsay in my Christmas book exchange that I do with them. And I've read 4 this year. 3 of them were this year's books from Lindsay. So I've read The Two Family House, Miscalculation of Lightning Girl, and The Sound of Gravel, which is a favorite so far this year. And then I've also read Everybody Always from Sarah, which I actually didn't love, but that's okay. I have a ways to go still on that, but 4, that's basically 1 a month. That's decent. I'm pretty pleased with that. I could up my game a little, but I'm pretty pleased that I've read at least 1 a month. The next goal on my list here is series. And last year, I think I read 22 or more series continuers. So I do have 22 squares here, and I'm not sure I'm going to get that many this year, but I have read 5 so far. So I read The Beautiful Mystery, which is a Louise Penny series. Oh, here's my series page in here. So pretty. I got this idea from Tia at Tia and All the Books. Adjusted it a little bit, and I'm sad that I didn't leave another page because I have more series already to add. No room for them. But this year I finished the Penderwicks, the most recent Penderwicks book. I finished the Penderwicks series. That's complete. I read the sequel to American Royals with Majesty. I finished the Emily Starr series from Ella Montgomery with Emily's Quest. I read The Beautiful Mystery from Louise Penny. 1, 2, 3, 4. What was the 5th one? Oh, I finished up the Winter Night trilogy when I read Winter of the Witch with Rainey. So made some progress. 5 series so far. That's not bad. I'm okay with that. The next goal on my list are 6 authors that I wanted to read this year. Those also sit up on this shelf. They're right there. I am rocking this one because I've already read from 3. It's creaky. I am rocking this goal because I've already read from 3 of those 6 authors, and we're only 1/3 of the way into the year. So I read 2 books by Jamie Jo Wright already. I read 1 Echo Mountain from Lauren Wolk, and I read From Sand and Ash by Amy Harmon, and I'm actually reading a second one from her right now and loving it. I really enjoyed all 3 of those authors so far. So here's hoping that the 3 that I haven't yet read, I really like them too. That's awesome. Then I have one more goal down at the bottom, all of my owned Susan Meissner books. I own 6 Susan Meissner books, and I want to read all of them this year, and I haven't even started that one. So that's the goal that I need to work on next. But I just wanted to let you know I'm doing great. I'm doing great with my goals so far. I'm really pleased. When I sat down and actually looked at how I was doing, I love it. I'm really pleased. And the one other not so much goal, but challenge that I'm participating in this year is Chantel's Read Your Bookshelf Challenge. So every month she has a prompt, and then I'm just kind of filling it in as I go, what I read. And so far in January, it was a home word in the title, and I read The House on Foster Hill. February was Red on the cover, and I read Beneath a Scarlet Sky. March was recommended by a friend, and I read Mrs. Frisbee and the Rats of Nim, which was recommended by one of my patrons. April was 5 or more words in the title, and I read The Star-Crossed Sisters of Tuscany. May is coming up, and I don't have an idea of what I'm going to read, but it's a book you should have read in high school. Oh, I think I might try to read 1984 because I never did read that in high school, and that was on a list. I went online today and looked up some lists of potential high school reading list books from the 90s because that's when I was in high school. And 1984 was one that was on there that I haven't read. So I didn't want to read Shakespeare. I don't remember reading like Macbeth and Hamlet. I don't think I ever read them. I might have read portions of them, but I don't really feel like reading Shakespeare. But I could get into 1984. So that's the other challenge. That's how I'm doing with my goals. Have you checked in with your goals for the year? Did you make a lot of goals for this year? How are you doing with those goals? And just thought I would do a little check-in with you. I hope that you don't mind. It's not the middle of the year yet, but I wanted to take a look at how I'm doing and see if I'm keeping on track, especially because in April and May, I'm really allowing myself to mood read, and that might continue as long as I keep making such good progress on these goals. So there's that. That's all. That's all I have for you today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please give it a big thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll be talking to you in another video very soon. Bye.